TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach. This weekend, y'all, we have Bruh from the fifth floor coming Saturday and Sunday, y'all. He'll be here Saturday and Sunday. We have a competition, a sandwich competition, and also a brunch at Jay's Eatery on Sunday. And then we'll be going out to Comanche Park Sunday evening, y'all, for the big flavor celebration. So right now, Tan TV introduce our host for the night, Mr. Phil Townsend. We live. I'm trying to bring my fellas in. There we go, Mark. There we go. The two Langston grads. There they go. There they popped in. Finally. Go ahead, Mr. Townsend. We on live.
All right. Hello and welcome to Sports Talk with myself, Phil Townsend, and you have Mr. COO himself, Vance Bradford. Also, big time, my man, the touring comedian for the show, Mr. Mark Howard. L's up to your brother. Hey, look, today we're missing Mr. Jeremiah Watts, because this would be Drones, Big Dog Picks.
Big dog. Where Big Dog at? He out somewhere? At a camp? He out at a camp somewhere?
Taking care of business. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's just a doggone minute. I'm going to do one of a doggone minute in this place, but I'm not going to rant about a sports thing. I'm going to talk something political. That's something that we can all get in on. I have been going around talking to people, watching various shows, and I'm looking at all the people that have been so hoodwinked and bamboozled when it comes to election time and voting. I'm sitting up here and I had not realized the abundance of ignorance that was out there. It is amazing to me when I sit up and I hear people say, who you voting for? Joe Biden or Donald Trump? It's only one answer. I am amazed at the answer that I hear. Who you voting for? You got a guy that's orange, racist, 34 count, convicted, felon, and an overall sexual assaulter. You can have him, or you can have a guy that's 3 years plus older than him, that everyone wants to perseverate on his age. You can do that, but a guy who has put in more programs to benefit the underserved and disadvantaged versus taking care of the high tax paid people, the high wage earners who don't really contribute to the tax base. But I tell you what, again, I'm still so amazed that when I hear people say, I'm voting for, I don't hear this, myself, my family, my kids, their future, their kids. That's who you should be voting for. You shouldn't be saying ignorant stuff like, I'm not voting for Joe Biden because he's 81. That's stupid. You should be voting for yourself because you're sitting up and going with things that are going to benefit you and your family. If anything, that's a candidate to look at. But it's amazing. Vote for yourself, because when you don't, you're saying you're not important. When I hear people say I'm not voting at all because my vote doesn't count, it doesn't matter, I'm like, okay, well then don't bitch, moan, and groan when somebody gets in you don't want, or when something happens and you don't want it. People, there's only one person to vote for when you walk in that booth, and it's you and your family. Vance, put it on you.
Well, okay. Well, thank you, doggy. I'm in between these Langston grads, but I do want to say, man, when you say vote and your vote counts, so what happens with the popular vote? What if someone asks you, say, well, Phil, it don't seem like the popular vote counts. What do you say to him?
Well, here's what I would say. One, the first thing I'm going to say is that if you if you ever want to complain about something, complain about the fact that civics was taken out of the schools. See, because then we wouldn't have that much ignorance when it comes to voting. We know that there's an electoral college
Hmm.
involved.
Hmm.
So, wherein as the electoral college, which happens to only really benefit Republican candidates for their presidency. You know what that means? That means that in the very states that are that seven or so that are going to be the key states to vote in to decide elections, you need to make sure that you get your butt out and vote. If you don't complain about it. You already know that you're in one of the prime states that your vote is going to determine who's getting elected as president. So whether it's by popular vote, the whole bottom line, or whether it's by electoral college, they all are going to be determined by the majority of number of votes that that candidate gets in that particular situation.
Okay. Well, I just
I, I,
wanted to
I,
throw that out. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
I want to add on that is that the fact is that for most of up until just recently, most of the time the people who won the electoral college also won the popular vote. It's been in certain situations that happen because they've allowed people to manipulate the system and change it. That whole thing when Bush won over
Gore.
Gore
Yeah.
was with Florida. That was that was a cheat. Uh, uh, and so
And the
that's the
time
that's
Hillary
the thing.
ran.
The time Hillary ran, I think
That
that was that
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 was
was
a
the anomaly.
sabotage.
Yeah, that was a sabotage, but that was the anomaly because again, what really does happen in this, Vance, is that as of late, over the past say 30, 40 years or so, for 50 years, um, it's when the blacks, specifically minorities, don't turn out and vote. That's where it tips the scale with the electoral college for those racist Republicans. So anything happens since Reagan with Bush, both Bushes, and with Trump, it's been the fact that the turnout or either the vote was split. See, the time when Trump won was because you had Bernie Sanders, and everybody who loved Bernie Sanders was so mad that he didn't get enough votes to be a candidate that they said, "Well, I'm not voting for nobody if Bernie Sanders did." And that's votes that would have been for Hillary Clinton. That's votes that would have been for Hillary Clinton. That's why they throwing in Kennedy right now, trying to muck up the waters now.
Yeah, but part of that whole big thing, Mark, too, when you get into that Hillary's thing, you did have a lot of Bernie Sanders folks who said they weren't going to vote, but I can just about bet that plenty of them still did vote. But the problem came in with what you said at the end, Mark, about the reason and Kennedy getting into it. Jill Stein is who mucked up the situation for Hillary because the margins were so fragile and few that could be allowed to be given away or lost by Hillary. And by that third party candidate running in there like that and getting that, what, 4% margin, that doomed Hillary. That doomed Hillary, besides the fact of black men, for whatever reason, have a difficult time deciding that they're important, that their vote is important, and to get in and get out and vote. But again, one of Hillary's other major problems was that if you looked at the way that the polling went, you had women voters that did not feel that a woman would be able to make the decisions and to run this country. You had arguably the most qualified presidential candidate ever, and she didn't get her just due. Besides James Comey being the all in all hammer that put the big nail in the coffin for Hillary by putting out that whole thing that he knew about that investigation, which he broke norm on that stuff that's usually not put out at that time. But anyway, tell you what, let's get to sports talk. Hey, Terry, great to have Terry Rayford in checking us out.
What's up, T?
Hope all's
What up,
good,
Terry?
brother. So anyway, Vance,
Yes,
let me start with you.
I know it.
Tell you what,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go to the NBA
One of my
championship.
helpers.
Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it was that the only reason they're champions is because they had a cakewalk because of all the injuries in the East?
Well, man, no, I don't think that. You got to play whoever show up, man, and injuries is very part of the game. And if the bracket, and then that's just like some brackets, you get it's just some brackets going to have an easier path no matter what, even if it wasn't injury. So, no, I think Boston. It was their year, and things like that year. The San Antonio Spurs won when everybody was out. When everybody was out and coming back late, but the Spurs they stayed together, boy, and won that championship. So, no, I don't think that. No, no.
Okay, Mark, how about yourself?
I think they did have a cakewalk because of the injuries. Now, does that mean they weren't going to win because of it? What? No, they've been the best team all year. They've been beaten up on, but they had a very good record during the regular season against Western Conference teams. Dallas was not the best team in the West to get in. They kind of caught a little lightning in the bottle, but they also caught Denver slipping. They weren't even. I mean, Oklahoma, OKC. They had the best record, but a little more flukish because they just played well through the regular season. They weren't prepared for the postseason play. So that's that.
They
They
won.
weren't prepared for. They weren't prepared for postseason play at that level.
I'm sorry, Mark, but they through two things, through two series, they were undefeated.
I feel you. Who they beat the first two series?
The teams that were before them, much like Vance said,
Kings wasn't that tough, and they was without Malik Monk, but they couldn't afford to lose one bullet.
well, it's not like the Kings didn't beat other teams once they lost Malik. They beat some of the top teams when they lost Malik Monk.
But
The last several games of the season.
They did very well to be a playing team.
Now, speaking of playing teams,
experience.
yeah, but again, look, it's about injuries. Like Van says, if the Lakers bigs wouldn't have gotten injured, and I'm glad that Sean Marks agrees with me, that, again, it's banner number 18 hanging up in LA. But that's okay. That's another story because you'll get a chance to meet the 2024-2025 champion Lakers next year when they're hanging that banner. But
yeah, sure.
WNBA, Mark, I gotta ask you, just give me, who do you think is playing the best rookie ball right now?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? My sound went out a little bit.
Who do you think is playing the best rookie? Which rookie is playing the best basketball right now?
I'm gonna go with Caitlin Clark. I think she's definitely carrying a load with a team that's not loaded. The team is not loaded. The team has one other of the other top pick in the draft who's playing very, very well. Sit back, Vance, relax. Relax.
I just when I start hearing
I know, go ahead, relax.
Okay.
As much as people are going to the extra defense of this white girl, and I go back and forth and tell people she's gonna be all right. I think she's doing well with assists. She's doing well in scoring. She's learning. She's going through the learning curve. All of these rookies, every last one of these rookies, you look at the ones like Caitlin Clark, you look at Angel Reese, and I'm sorry I keep forgetting the sister's name who was the top pick. that the big girl from South Carolina that's in Chicago with Angel Reese as well. All of them played in the Final Four for 2 years straight. They played a lot of basketball, and they came out of it right then and there, directly into the WNBA. No other team, no other league has this situation where the players come directly from college. The only time this happens is if you get a player that came out of that UFL in the spring, and then they got to get ready and they get picked up in the NFL, and they got to go right in. It's a curve, and they don't have a chance to get a rest of their bodies, get their bodies in better conditioning. So I get that. Caitlin Clark's gonna be fine. Angel Reese is doing a lot better than a lot of people thought, and her rebounding is very key.
Tell you what,
when they went head to head, Vance, you let me know. All right, go ahead. That's what I got.
They've been they didn't go head to head. They played each other.
How'd it go?
Before you get into it, let me go into a station break. You're watching TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local field with a global reach. Vance, go ahead and get back into what you're talking about with Mark.
Well, I mean, he's been saying that Caitlin is playing better. I think Angel is playing better. That's all. I just think her last streaks of double doubles is amazing, and she's coming in as a rookie. Especially the rebounds she's averaging, and the points she's averaging. I think she's playing. And Caitlin got a squad now. They might not be ready to gel, and Caitlin's playing better. She's getting a lot better. I think Indiana Fever got a little squad.
Look, I'm going to have to go in on a lot of. I'm going to have to go in on a lot of what Vance is saying here, Mark. They may not be winning. They may not be winning, but the Indiana Fever, they have a lot of really, really good talent on their team, starting with coming in with Nalissa Smith.
And that's it. It's them two, and that's it.
No. Nalissa Smith, Aaliyah Boston from last year, Caitlin Clark, and you got some good.
I'm sorry. I'm in Aaliyah Boston. That's what I'm sorry. I'm in Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and that's it.
This is the thing that I'm finding so funny. Is this now? I check and I see, and they say, well, look, it's now I do get some that say Angel Reese, what's her name, Nakia Jackson, but and then I get into Kate. Well, it would have been Cameron Brink, who I said until she had an ACL tear that I thought would overall end up being the Rookie of the Year. But Angel Reese is her double-double, basically double-double that she's getting in there, especially after that last 18-rebound game. She's leading the league, in offensive rebounds, right? About 4.6. Second.
I think she's top. Yeah, top
second in the league in rebounding, behind Asia Wilson. When you get into that and you look and say there's 3 to 5 differential in their point scoring versus the number of shots being taken with her, and that her ability in the rebounding, then you look at where Caitlin Clark is, which you've heard me say on the show before. Her strong points I thought were going to be on assists and rebounding. And that's
scoring. You mean scoring and assists?
No.
Caitlin Clark.
Remember, I said Caitlin Clark is not a good shooter. She's a volume shooter. Her 37%, shooting that she's doing, it's amazing to me when I keep hearing, and not to mention that she's leading the league in turnovers with almost 6 a game. So to keep hearing phenom, super phenom.
Her usage rate is very high too.
That's exactly. But the thing is that when you get into that, and then and when I keep hearing that, and I hear, and her 3-point shooting at this point is atrocious, and that's really her bang for her buck. But that people as fans want to see. But I think if you're going to get into truth to how she's playing, I think she's really having a good year. when
Right.
you get into, like you said, the usage rate, but her stats, she's never been a good shooter, as I've always maintained. It's just the excitement from her 3-point shooting. So I think when it gets down to it and they get a little of this whole phenomena thing out, I think Angel Reese is going to have a really good chance at being Rookie of the Year once they do it. But if Caitlin Clark, if she improves on her shooting, because I think her assists and rebounds are only going to get better, then I'll go with that. But Mark, since we seem to lost Van,
I'm gonna say this:
yes,
they're gonna give Caitlin Clark the Rookie of the Year.
no, I think we already know that. That's why I said, yeah, no, that's an understanding.
But
That's already,
I think
yeah.
she's doing enough that her winning the award is acceptable.
Well, that's all you have to do is have a ability to justify, right? To where it could be opinionated. Um, Mark, let me talk about the big trade that went on between Chicago and OKC with
That's a big trade.
Alex Caruso.
That's a big trade.
Oh, it's a big trade. Alex
I
Caruso
thought
going to
when you say big
OKC
trade, I'm thinking.
and OKC getting Josh Giddey. What do you
Well,
think about that? And
in the
I'll tell
grand
you why
scheme,
it's a big trade.
I get you. I do, and I'll go here with it first. In the grand scheme of things, this is under the radar because these are two non-all-star players. All right, they've been in the league a little bit, and it's like, who are they? But for the for the OKC, this was a great trade. This was a great trade for them because they now have gotten another guard, and I think Caruso's a little taller. But the main thing that's more important is that he's a heck of a defender. So you put another defensive guy on the perimeter, another guy along with his experience, having won a championship as well, on that team, on that younger team. He fits right in with a player like Shea, who can get the ball to him a little bit in positions where he can succeed because he's athletic. Yeah, that's a big move. Chicago said we really ain't been worth a damn, so it don't matter if we get Giddey or not. And I don't know his situation, but I imagine his contract is probably out after the next year, so they can dump that and move on to the next thing. Because the next trade would be a big trade. I think is going to happen is when they trade DeMar DeRozan.
Well, Mark, I'll tell you this. I think it's probably going to be one of the most impactful trades of the year because of a lot of things you pointed on. Alex Caruso's ability to score, shoot the three, drive to the basket because of his athleticism. Yeah.
He's a better 3-point shooter, but he ain't good.
No, Alex Caruso will take it to the bucket and dunk on you.
Right. That's what he does.
Exactly. He will definitely do that. Plus his hard-nosed defense. What you could not get out of Josh Giddey is defense. Josh Giddey's ability to shoot under pressure was so exposed during the playoffs that they had to bench him. And you were talking about benching a guy who can really handle and distribute the basketball. But at that point in time, OKC needed somebody that could score a bucket. And Josh just wasn't providing that. But I think it's a great trade.
He was getting pushed around against was it Dallas?
Yeah.
He was getting pushed around.
Well, Mark, all of that could be solved if you go out.
Oh no, it was Minnesota. It was Minnesota that was doing.
Yeah, but that could be solved by going out on an older day. So let's get to the real big thing since we seem to have lost Vance for the moment.
And speak of it.
He had to come back because he could not miss a Lakers segment. He bowed out of the other, but he wants this Lakers segment. Vance, your thoughts on the Lakers getting J.J. Redick as their coach?
And fans, do me a favor. Please try not to say something stupid. Just try. Try. Go ahead.
Mark, that's how I elevate you. You wouldn't be elevated if I didn't. So I try to keep you elevated. My peers don't. So
You
keep
hear
you
that,
coming
folks?
back on the show. I try
You
to
hear
do
that,
that.
folks? He
That's
knows.
it.
Go ahead.
JJ Redick, man, it's amazing how they uh, work that to get a JJ Redick. Phil, I really like what you said off stage, in the green room. I really like what you had to say, but it just puzzled me, man. And the brother
Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham.
Darren Ham. 2 years, what? 2 years? Just and then here come this. I don't know. Really frustrates me, man, to see how our coaches, how they pick coaches, man, and so JJ, it is what it is. I really don't care what the Lakers do. I could care less, and I'm kind of glad so they can keep the chaos going myself. Because one thing, AD is still AD. Street clothes is still street clothes. So hey, and they LeBron got to have his man. AD got to have his man. He gonna probably go get Sam or something, whoever. Not Sam. Who's AD guy? Uh,
Well,
go ahead,
Rondo. But Vance,
Rondo.
if you know how the game
Rondo.
is played, you know that the 13th guy on the bench has his person in there, be it a quick person, a trainer that he wants.
So,
Somebody is his
somebody
person.
keeping him on the roster. You understand that?
Man, please. All
So,
right,
no,
but
yeah,
I think it's ludicrous.
Mark, Mark, your thoughts on that JJ Redick?
Well, being here in LA, and I've been saying this for a long, long time. There's a lot of foolish fans that out here in LA, the Lakers fans. I said most Laker fans know the Lakers. They don't know crap about basketball, and they've assumed and they've gotten spoiled because they assume that it's just the Lakers. You just put the name on the chest, and it automatically promotes winning. Um, Rest in peace to the late Jerry West. But Jerry West was a huge reason for the boom of the Lakers' success since the late '70s. And Jerry Buss having the vision to run a team and run an organization. So you are seeing that. So let's understand this. For now, that is over. It's over. And the kids, don't get me wrong, Jim Buss was atrocious. But I'm gonna say this much to you. Jeannie Buss is not really that much better. She's just likable. And I'm gonna tell you this much. Let's go ahead and put that anointing oil away from Rob Pelinka. Let's go ahead and put that away from Rob Pelinka. You go and get somebody, well, I like this basketball mind. You have an organization like you have. Now, I get what Boston did. Boston had to fall into the situation, but you at least had a guy who was on the bench. And you did bring in someone new, but you brought in somebody that had coaching experience. You want that just for the aesthetics of the fact that you're bringing somebody in to play in this organization. You just can't do that. You can't do that in San Antonio. If you have the players there, you can do it in San Antonio now. If Popovich steps down, somebody brand new can come coach. Somebody can come and coach brand new. But with expectations like that, it's just a scapegoat. And it depends on who they put around him on the staff. It really does. I like JJ Redick, but this ain't where you supposed to start fresh off the tree. Ain't got no coaching experience at all. So,
Well,
but we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, but you know what? I don't put any of this really on, JJ Redick. This is what, Mark, you were touching on. The horrible Laker organization, the management, the way it's run. Until you decide to get Kurt Rambis and his wife out of the building, you're not going anywhere.
Well, they're
And
good friends, Phil. They're very nice people.
The thing is this: you have a coach win a championship, and then you get rid of him. You have a guy in Darvin Ham who took a team that nobody figured was going to do anything and get him to the Western Conference Finals in his first year. Second year, you can see all of the injuries. So the surprising part was AD and LeBron were the most healthiest people on the roster besides Austin Reeves. And you had all of those injuries, especially to the bigs, and you still make your way to where you make it to the playoffs and lose in the first round to who? The champions. The people that you already have a tough time trying to defeat. And you get rid of this guy? And now you say this. This is the most astonishing part to me, is that you say we want a coach who's going to be able to teach and develop players along the way and down the line. Couldn't you have done that with the other coaches you had?
Couldn't you give him more than a 4-year deal? Could you give him more than a 4-year deal?
Yeah, but I'm not hating on JJ, but I'm saying if you're talking about wanting somebody to develop, you know what? The thing about that takes time. And you cannot tell me that with that poor-ass roster that Pelinka keeps putting in there, and you're going to set up and tell me that somehow J.J. Redick, who you just offered a guy that has never done anything in the NBA, 6 years, you give him 4 years. You haven't convinced me that you're willing to stay with J.J. Redick for that amount of time and surely not re-sign him because you did 2 years less than what you offered just a college-winning coach. So anyway, tell you what, that's it on me, except for the fact that I want to talk about who I feel is the number one free agent that's going to be out there. And no, Vance, I see you looking right now. LeBron has not opted out of that $51 million plus contract. I know you thought it was going to be him. I'm telling you right now, Paul George is going to call the Clippers bluff. And I would tell you now, Vance, where do you think the best place is going to be for Paul George to go?
Well, if he don't stay in LA, which I think he's gonna end up staying there myself. I'd say, I would say Philly, man, but no, but he's still. I'd say, but I don't know. I'm gonna say Philly, man, so I won't be. I would say Philly, but I think he's gonna end up in LA, staying there.
It won't be what?
Huh?
So I won't be what?
Oh, it was just wishy-washy going back because I could have said New York, man, which is just as wouldn't be as well, but he'd be more used in Philly, I think, more valuable.
He'll definitely be more booed in Philly. Mark, what do you think about Paul George and his chance at going into free agency?
Not reliable, but I got enough of a little intel out here to say he don't want to go nowhere.
We know that.
He wants to stay right here back home. Now, unless the Clippers really insult him, that would be. It wouldn't surprise me because the Clippers are the Clippers. Okay.
Mark, we're having some trouble hearing you. After you said the Clippers.
What about
insulting them?
What about?
Yeah, you coming in and out.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I could tell you Philly's an easy choice, but I think it's probably going to either be because it would be to fit the salary and whatnot and being able to win. I don't see him going to Miami, which would be
a mistake. Well, Mark, we are losing you in and out. We didn't even hear what team you mentioned about him being.
It's either Philly or the Clippers.
Okay, okay. Well, Mark,
I don't see him doing either or because of I think the Philly and also Clippers can pay him the right salary.
okay. But Mark, you mentioned about you didn't see him going anywhere unless they insulted him. They've already insulted him. They gave Kawhi Leonard a contract,
Extended it.
a big time contract, and then you offered it to Kawhi. Kawhi hadn't even said anything, and now you're going to take Paul George through the ringer, and you talk about Mr. Street Clothes inventor.
No, he ain't where's AD.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he got the time. AD saying, man, look at here. Don't you want to play sometime? He calling Paul George up saying, Paul.
Hey, Paul George, they're going through negotiations, man.
Yeah, sure they are. Well, look, we're glad you had enough time to join us here at TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. Want to say to Vance and all of the one fan he has out there, Mark, your many millions of adoring fans. Want to say thanks for the great show. Vance, you got anything to say before we sign off?
Well, no. Only thing I want to say is I'm gonna go into our commercial. We got a great weekend in San Antonio with Brotman searching for the perfect sandwich. So stay tuned for some more information after Mark Howard.
Mark. All right, Mark has nothing to say.
Basically,
we're having that audio difficulty.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, so just get ready to watch my Wizards make a hell of a draft pick. All right.
Okay. Matter of fact, I want to stay around until when I see them trade them in a couple of years. And to a championship team. The Wizards are great at doing that.
We have one on each team.
Right.
Somebody's going to get a championship.
With that being said, thanks again for watching TAN TV, the African American Network. Terry Rayford, thanks for joining. We're out of here.
Peace.
This is your girl Miss Nika, and I gotta show you Smoke Ring King Sammich for the Sammich competition. Yes, those are gold flakes on top of this beautifully smoked brisket. OMG. The flavor, guys, the flavor of the meat, the tenderness of the meat, the juice in the meat, absolutely amazing. This dude exactly knows what he's doing, all right? So he got them edible gold flakes on the meat and on the homemade bread, also locally made. So there you go. He piles it on. This is the homemade sauce. He's got about 6 different sauces. This one's delicious. That slaw, out of this world. All kinds of seasoning. You can see the seasoning in the slaw. Absolutely delicious. There goes that gold flake bun. Give it to me twice. Give it to me 2 times. This thing is amazing. And it's soft. Oh, let's get the meat one more time. You see that thing? Okay, look. Back to business. This thing is amazing. You got to come out Saturday and give it a try. Smoke Ring King, Chef Anthony. Look at it. Just look at it. And that bread is soft. It just mushes down. You would think, how do I bite it? Don't worry. Just mush it down and get into it. Juice is falling. Flavor everywhere. Man, excellent sandwich. Good job, guy. And y'all come check it out on Saturday, 10 to 1.
Hey, the Renadads, we challenge you.
Bring it on. Call me Ephraim Veteratus, the magician.
While he's searching for the perfect sandwich. That looked like a Dirty Rob shot right there.
You have it. It's Harvey Hands-On of the Renadads. We got Uncle Stepdad back there. You got the Midwest Renadads, West Coast Renadads. We accept your challenge, bruh, man. Where you at? Bring it on. Kick in and get them ready. Cuckoo! Uncle Stepdad, the 5th member. Bruh, man, I accept your challenge. I'm gonna hit this 5 ball in right quick. Get on that 5. Hold them still, cause it's too real.
Yes, spiritual guidance of the Renner Dads is 1 up, 1-0. Getting ready to get 2.
Bullshit.
Hey, see, San Antonio got the best sandwiches.
Let me ask you, do you know who you are, sir?
Yo, I'm coming down to San Antonio to see if they got the best sandwiches.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take you to a few spots. You let me know what you think, okay?
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the 5th floor. And look at here. I'm searching for the perfect sandwich. So I want y'all to register at www.theafricanamericannetwork.com to join my sandwich community. It's gonna be all that. And look at here. Want y'all to invite me to your city if you think you got the perfect sandwich. And I ain't talking about no served sandwiches either. Peace.